Right. There's no, what do you call it? There's no more 10 acts downstairs?
I don't see any. If I'm any. I only got an English one.
You can get one from, Sicilian of them. You have, everybody has, and here's the turnout. We don't need, we're good. Yeah. ועשה בית אביה בנעוריה ושמע אביה את נדרה, היא heard ועשה על נפשה, והרשתה אביה וקמה כל נדרה וכל ישראל אשר עשה על נפשה יקום. ואם הניע אביה אותה ביום שמו כל נדרה, if he releases her from the vow, ועשה אשר עשה נפשה, לא יקום. ואדוני יסלח לה, כי הניע אביה אותה. Now, Avi, ואם היה תהיה Leish Unere Alea Om Tasute Asher Asa Nafsha, we hadn't gotten there yet. Shana Isha Biom Shomo V'Hrishla, then the husband heard, and he kept quiet. Kamo Nedarim Asher Asa Nafsha Yakum Uvim Biom Shomo Isha Yani Ota. But if a husband hears it, right, on that day, V'Feret Nedarim Asher Alea V'Et Neftasvatia Asher Asa Nafsha Hashem Yislach La. And then Neder Almana Gusha Kol Shasa Nafsha Yakum Aleha Vim Bet Isha Nadar Osra Isa Nafsha Bishua Vishma Isha Bishla Lo Iniota Kama Kol Nev Kol Isa etc. Hefe Yafer etc. Kol Neder Kol Shat Isa La Not Nevish Isha Yikmer Isha Yefeno Vimishla Miyom Eliom Hekim Kol Nadareha etc. I'm skipping. Then he carries it. Between a man and his wife, and between a father and his daughter when she's a ne'ara in her father's house. So I'll read this to you. It goes like this. I can just read it to you. The Nedarim laws, in short, encapsulate several cases of vow annulment, particularly between a father and daughter and husband and wife. The laws are addressed to Rashi Hamatot, the heads of the tribes, presumably because they would be the ones in the future to resolve familial conflicts and relationships that may be complicated within this legal framework. Because again, a guy that heads the tribe is a guy that says, yes, yes, no, no, he's the final say.
Or is that just the ones who were transmitting the law?
No, he was the boss.
No, but this is in somebody's house. He's gonna need to have jurisdiction. I mean, or is it just these are the people, I'm gonna tell them I taught, and they will tell the people?
I'm not understanding your question.
You're saying it's when there's a conflict in the house, the husband, the wife, whatever. So they have to go to the matot, or is this the matot gonna, when it tells us, Moshe tells it to matot, they're gonna now transmit the understanding of the law to everybody. So it goes,
No. You're talking about legislation. We're not talking about legislation. We're talking about here that the heads of the tribes, because they would be in the ones to resolve familial conflicts. There's a family problem going on. Husband and wife are having to swing out.
I hear you. I understand what you're saying.
Right.
I don't know if there was, okay.
So it's not, we're not talking about his legislation and how it affects them. He's the head of the tribe. It's like the father in a family.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so who do you go to when there's a big mahloket going on? And they would send them to the tribal leader, and the tribal leader is the one who resolves those problems. By the way, the tribal leaders in I don't know if you ever looked in history in England when they had tribes, when they were more tribal going back, right? Who resolved the issue?
Lord, whatever.
Yeah, it was the tribal guy. They brought it to him. The families, there were family groups, just like this. It lasted for a very long time. There was a family group. The family group, they couldn't resolve the issue. They went to the tribal leader. The tribal leader was the guy who they said, okay, what do you have to say? And he called the shots, so to speak. So that's what this is talking about, right? The laws are adjusted Asher Matot, the heads of the tribes, because they would be the ones in the future to resolve familial conflicts and relationships that may be complicated within this legal framework, right? It gets very complicated. What are you going to do?
Correct.
As opposed to you were saying, they legislate and then it gets broken down into the family. Right.
Extends the law. Okay.
Right, but we're not even getting there over here. We're saying in the tribe, whatever that went on, it was certainly was when you went up the ladder, you hit the tribal head, and he's the guy that decided what goes on. The legislation opens with cases in which a man vows al nafsho or a woman vows al nafsha. When it says, right, those words, when it says, I just want to read those words to you. But the sort of Isad al nafsho, right? You see those words, right? Ki yidor nedel Adonai v'shabashu ale sort Isad al nafsho le yachol le'oro. V'isha ki yidor nedel Adonai v'asa Isad bet abiyah b'nureim v'shema v'asera. Al nafsha, that right on her nefesh. In other words, the introduction to these laws clarifies that one may only vow on his/her own life, not others,
Right, oh, that's.
on your life, right? The Torah emphasizes the importance of filling one's vows with key phrasing, which we shall elaborate on below. Ish ki yador nid l'Adonai v'shvashuah. The sword he sat on nafsho, on his life, lo yahil debaro, kechol hayotze mipiv yaser. According to all that
He said.
comes out of his mouth, he does. Without delving into specifics, the time period in which the father or husband has the power to annul vows is extremely limited. Extremely limited to just one day, a revolutionary step toward female independence in the law within the ancient Near East context. The legislation concludes with a concise summary. אלה החוקים אשר ציווה אדוני את משה בן איש לאשתו, בן אב לביתו, בן אוריה בית אביה. Between a husband and wife, between a father and his daughter in her ne'ara state, in the house of her father. Bearing these points in mind, let us examine the narrative of Yiftach in Judges.
There you go.
You can all go open up to Yiftach in Judges. A Gileadian who was estranged from his household, Bet Av, due to being born from a prostitute. Yiftach is approached by his brethren later to be the Rosh, like Rosh Hashem, Rosh, and Katzin over the Gileadim when they are facing imminent threat from Ammon. After accepting the position and about to lead the war with the enemy nation, Yiftach vows a pledge to God. Do you all have the Yiftach story? I'll give it to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Chapter 11, verse
1.
1, at the very beginning. Vayiftach Hagiladi Haya Gibor Hayil V'hu ben Isha Zonah Vayolad Gilad et Yiftach. So Gilad gives birth to Yiftach. V'ateled Eshet Gilad lo banim v'yigdalu b'nei Isha. So Gilad's wife, right, has kids, and now they tell him, you're out of here. They get his shoe, they chase him away, right? At Yiftach, you don't inherit with us because you're the wife of another woman. And he runs away from his brothers, and he stays be'eretz Tob. It is Tob. Beit Lakitu El Yiftach and Hashim Rekim. And who gathers around him? Maybe you know what Hashim Rekim means without looking at the English.
Is empty.
Right. That's a bunch of losers.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's
The land of Tob. I think that's the.
it's so funny, right?
Very funny.
It's in the land of Tob. What the heck is that all about? It's the land of Tob.
That's the
Right,
official translation. It's
Weird.
Like humor.
What do you say, Morris? He's in the land of Tob.
yeah, how to,
Things are good.
Yeah.
And he has people around him and he's, he's it says in the very beginning, he's Gibor Hayo.
Right.
He's a fighter, he's 6'3", 200, he looks like a football player, and he's that kind of, he's military kind of guy. And now these guys come around him, so I wonder if in the land of good means he's very happy. And he has guys work under his control.
but they're bad guys.
No, that's-
No, they're not bad. No. The team doesn't mean bad.
Means empty.
It means they're guys who hang out, they're not working, they're not. Wait a minute, we gotta keep this girl, Linda? I don't wanna, Linda?
You don't want to?
No. You can close it halfway, yeah.
Lawrence.
Is the house worth it, we expect?
I'm like. I don't know where to stay.
Doesn't work.
Okay, close it more, she's not stopping.
Because I'm trying to get my head around these costs, like, would be like, he's in the land of hope.
It'll close more, just push it, don't worry, push through it. And Hashem Elohim doesn't necessarily mean anything they're bad people.
They're empty.
Yeah, it's like
Political idol.
you go into a bar,
I mean,
you see a bunch of guys sitting around and they're drinking. They're bad people. They're just like a bunch, what are you guys doing here drinking today? Go to work, go do something productive. Well, they're not
Like boring old farmers, like just.
are they Jews?
not farmers. No. Farmers are good.
Farmers said that, it didn't say bad.
I said they're not farmers, they're not Rekim. Farmers are productive people.
So
Actually,
where did these people
Yes,
come from?
Rekim means, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Rekim means they're not evil, they're not killers.
Some idol here.
But where do they
Idle, I said idle, that's exactly right. What does that mean? I told you, you never see a bunch of guys hanging out somewhere. They're hanging out.
Well, they have to support themselves, so they either privileged, they either have, from wealthy families, or they're like robbers.
Okay.
and-
No, you don't have to say they're robbers, no,
So what
no.
are they?
Idle, they just bum around, right?
Not bandits?
No. They're not bandits. Do some of them end up bandits? Yes. Do some of them end up going into crime? Yes. You're not talking about evil people. It called them rekim, not evil, not killers, not murderers, not robbers. That's why the word idle is very good. They're idle.
Yeah.
They're hanging around. They live. You said, how do they live? They get food in the forest, right? Robin Hood.
We have a bunch of bikers.
Yeah, who's that over there?
Hey, Mamie, hi, Ronnie.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm reading the English of the JPS.
Yeah.
It goes, and men of low character gathered around Jephthah and went around raiding with him. They're not good guys.
Right, but it does, no, now listen, in Hebrew, right,
Reading with him.
But
right? Vayitlaketu el Yiftach and Hashem Rekim vayitzu imo.
They went around with him.
That's right, doesn't say raiding.
Right.
The
I don't know where the
JPS
JPS got that from.
JPS took the liberty to call it raiding. It doesn't say that. It says they go out with him now. Again,
Are these Israelites?
yeah, they're the people who live in the air. We assume so. We don't even know.
There's plenty of other people.
There's plenty of other people, but that word, by the way, I never even looked it up. I knew it was wrong the minute you said raiding, right?
Right.
Because they're not raiding. They go out with him. Where do they go out with him? I don't know what they do with him. I said, could it lead to being people who end up being at the edge of society legally, and they, maybe some of them become, like you say, thieves, or right, or something like that. It could be. The reason I'm not jumping to it so quickly is because after there's that, it says, after days went by, Bnei Ammon comes and starts fighting with them. Excuse me. ויהי כאשר נלחמו בני עמון עם ישראל וילכו זקני גלעד לקחת את יפתח מארץ טוב. They go to take Yiftach from Eretz Tov. You know what that sounds like to me? They didn't go to he's not a criminal. They go, this guy, he's a fighter, right? He's got guys with him. They're strong, right? Let's go get him. And they tell him, you become our leader. You don't assume, how should I say? Yes, you could be right, I guess. You go to the mafia and you tell the mafia to protect you. But you know, I sort of, you ever see the Magnificent Seven? The original Japanese movie, they go, the town is always being raided. And they don't know what to do, so they go to they get the guys who are the what do you call those, what are the Japanese good fighters called? The
Samurai?
samurai. They go to get the samurais, right? I think the original name of the movie was The Seven Samurai. So they get the samurai guys. Now the samurai guys are not killers. They're not. They're like army guys, right? They're like a military. They're fighters.
Warriors.
Doesn't mean that they're going around raiding and killing people. On the contrary, in the Japanese Seven Samurai, the townspeople said, let's go to those guys. They'll help us. Not the guys that are raiding them are the bad guys. Those are they're fighters too, those guys. The guys that are raiding them, you can't take them on. They kill. They do. The samurai will go to them and will ask them to protect us. So there's 7 of them trained the town to protect them from the entire, and a bunch of them die, but some of them live in there, super fighters, right? So that's how I think of, Gilad, right? I mean of Yiftach. Okay, so etc. They go to him and they tell him,
Well, I just make the point also.
yeah,
He has a daughter, he's got some kind of family. It's not like he's, there's some kind of living situation. He's
yes, yeah,
not just, part of a
right.
bunch of.
He has a house.
Yeah,
He has a
house
house.
thing.
He has a daughter. That's why I said this thing of Tob, right? I said, I wonder if that means things were good with him. He had his daughter. He had animals he lived through that, right? Maybe he was a farmer. Maybe there's a farm in back of the house, and so on and so forth, right? And so I'll read this to you to even show you more that he's not like a criminal guy. Bearing these points in mind, let us examine the narrative of Yiftach and Judges. A Giladi, who was estranged from his household due to being brought from a prostitute, Yiftach is approached by his brethren later to be the Rosh and Katzin of the Giladim. When they are facing imminent threat from Ammon, after accepting the position and about to lead the war with the enemy nation, Yiftach vows a pledge. So Yiftach, they come to him and they tell him, we want you to be our leader, right? And he tells them, hello, Atem Sinetem, dude, didn't you hate me? You threw me out? So now you're in trouble, you're coming to me. Very nice.
It's a
Yeah.
funny parallel. Ve'atem senetem oti v'tishalehuni me'etechem. You know what I'm talking about?
Tell
I
them.
forgot where it is.
Tell
It's
them.
in
It's
clause somewhere.
yeah, there is another place.
With his heart when Abimelech kicked him out.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it, right. You hated me. What, you're coming to me now, right?
Yeah.
What, now, since now you want to be friends, right? Right. ויאמרו זקני גלעד אל יפתח לכן אתה שבנו אליך. Okay, now we came back. והלכת עמנו ונלחמת בבני עמון והיית לנו ראש לכל יושבי גלעד. You'll be the head of all of Gilad.
Right.
Right? So ויאמר יפתח אל זקני גלעד אם משבים אתם אותי לכם ובני עמון, ונתן אדוני אותם לפניי, אנוכי אהיה להם לראש. If you put me back and I fight and I'm successful, then I'll lead you. Right? ויאמרו זקני גלעד יפתח, אדוני יהיה שומע בנותינו, אם לא כדברך, we'll do, okay, we'll deal. וילך יפתח עם זקני גלעד, ויסירו העם אותו עליהם לראש קצין, וידבר יפתח את כל דבריו לפני אדוני במצפה. Okay? And he goes and he tries to make peace, and you see that, by the way, you see the way he talks, he does, look how he speaks. I mean, we'll skip it over here, how does he talk?
You want to give them the history?
When he, yeah,
No, I'll have to prove myself. Let me.
no, how does he talk to the, to Ammon?
He cites the Midbad verbatim.
Yeah, he's
The author cites the Midbad in his mouth verbatim.
okay, but it doesn't matter. The point being that it articulates very clearly. He doesn't sound like a lowlife. He sounds like, on the contrary, they want to make him the lead guy. When he talks politically correct. He knows how to talk, he knows how to speak. Comes up to enemies, just doesn't just tell him, I'm going to chop your head off, right? What do you want to come and fight with me for, right? He tells the messengers, they took my land, etc., etc. And he sends other messengers, and they say that Yiftach said, Lola Eretz Moab, they never took anything from you. Eretz Moab, Kiba Alotam Mesam, Eretz B'Medbar, Ad Yamsu ve'Ebo Kadesha, Ve'Shai Yisrael Malachim L'Melech Edom. We want to just go through, and he didn't want to let them. And then that's what happened. I'm going to skip. And so on and so forth. They never wanted to fight. Yeshua called Gibol, and Maria said to say, now we inherited all. Are you any better than Balak ben Zippor?
It's clear. Huh?
Right?
So let's just keep in
Melech
mind.
Moab harob rav im Yisrael im nilham bam. בשבט ישראל בחשבון ובנותיה ובערוער ובנותיה ובכל הערים אשר על ידי ההנון 300 שנה ומדוע לא הסלתם בעת ההיא.
What he's saying is that Sihon originally took Ammon over.
Right.
Then
Right.
Bnei Israel took over Sihon and
Right.
inherited.
It came along.
So he's saying, why didn't you ever take it up with the Emori? You're
Right.
taking it up with
Now
us.
you're coming. Very, very good answers. That's what I mean to say. He's an intelligent guy, and he speaks well. I never did it. Let God be the judge. It's unbelievable.
Uh-huh.
Very nice. I never did anything to you. I'm not interested in fighting with you. What are you doing? He doesn't listen. Etc., etc. Right. So now I have to skip because it goes too long, right? There is much debate amongst commentators as to why Yiftach had intended with the specific wording. What's the wording? וידע יפתח נדר לאדוני ויאמר אם נתת תיתן את בני עמון בידי, you hand them over to me. That's what I'm skipping from here. והיה יוצא אשר יסר מדלתי ביתי, whoever comes out of my house, לקראתי to greet me, בשובי בשלום, when I come back in peace, בני עמון, והיה לאדוני ועליתיהו לעולם. It'll be forgotten, and I'll offer him up as a sacrifice.
Yeah.
There's much debate amongst the commentators as to what Yiftach had intended with this specific wording. Did he believe that animals would be the first to greet him, or did he perhaps have in mind a human being? Whatever the case may be, God does indeed grant him victory over Ammon. When he returns home, prepared to sacrifice to God, he is devastated to find his only daughter, his only child, having no other sons, emerge from his house to greet him with joy. I'm reading verse 34. With how do you call the tupim, the holot dancing and like castanets, so those instruments. In law ben or bat goes out of way, she's the only one to him. He has no other sons or daughters. Bigadav. He tears his clothing and he goes into mourning, right? Vayomer, beti. Hachra, hachreya, tani ve'at hayit be'ochrai ve'anochi pasiti pi. I opened my mouth to God, v'lo uchal lashuv, and now I can't go back, right? So, v'tomer elav, abi, pasita et picha, you did open your mouth to God. Aseli kasher yasami picha, do to me according to what came out of your mouth. I'm going to skip now. She tells him, let me go with my friends and take a break before she dies. And she does for 2 months. As she goes with her friends, they cry and whatever. The words now, verse 39, Vayahasla et nedro asher nadar v'hi lo yed'a ish. He did according to the vow that he made, and she knew no man. She had not known a man, but he hot v'yisrael. Mi'amim yamima. Next verse. Tilachna benot tasel tanot lebat yiftach hagiladi arba'at yamim b'shana. 4 days of the year, they go to sort of mourn her.
So you're saying,
Yeah, it's very sad. Tragically, Yiftach is obligated to do as had exited his mouth and sacrificed his daughter, but emerged from the house to go. In its proper time and setting, human child sacrifice was a practice relatively common among surrounding cultures. Perhaps originally viewed as a heroic or courageous act, the author of Judges, as well as the rabbis in the Drash fashion, critique Yiftach's ignorance to the matter and present the end result as tragic and mournful. By the way, what's the famous case of the of child sacrifice that we know?
it's not. I mean, so.
No, Meshach.
Yeah, on the wall.
Take a look at Kings.
Right, it's not clear who does it.
That's why I'm going to bring it up. In Melachim, where do you remember where it occurs?
Can I ask Archie?
Ask it if you want. I think it's at the beginning. I think it is anyway. Yeah. Am I right?
2 Kings 3:27.
319 I was on.
Oh.
Not bad, huh?
This might be wrong. It has like Christian verse.
Here it is. That's the verse. Yeah. So what happens? They come up against the army. Israel comes. They come against Moab, and they're successful, and they wipe out everything. And the battle is about to be complete. In verse 26, and the king of Moab, I'm skipping everything. Vayar melech Moab, the king of Moab sees ki hazak mimenu hamilchama, vaytakach oto shvat meot ish sholef hereb, takes 700 guys, lapkia el melech Edom v'lo yacholu, to break through. Vayikahet beno habikor, and then he takes his firstborn son, Asher Yimloch Tahtav, that would be the next king, Vaya'alehu Ola al Humah, and he offers him as a sacrifice on the wall. He kills him on the wall. When the reason Morris is Stephen, he's killing him on the wall. That the enemies out there, they're about to go, so they see him kill his son, right? But he kitzif gadol Israel. The next words are, there was great kitzif. You can read the translation if you want. And they go home.
That's on this.
The whole thing was very weird.
Well,
That's
it looks like this. one of the things that it seems to be from this is that they won that war. They're done. He's finished. He does that because he's done in the next
Right.
tomorrow, they're breaking through and the war is over and they're gonna they destroyed him completely. Israel sees that and leaves. Why'd they leave?
I find this guy's crazy.
He was successful. They got shook up.
Yeah.
Right? Now it leaves you, of course, ambiguous.
Right.
It doesn't tell you,
At best.
but one of the options is this. We gotta get out of here. What do you mean we gotta get out of here?
So
He
that's the
spooked
child
them.
sacrifice.
No, he spooked them. No, he spooked them. It's not the child sacrifice price. They got spooked.
Because they believed that they thought it had efficacy. Right.
Yeah. They said, hey, we better get out of here. You know what? Let's leave. They're winning anyway. Okay, let's leave. Let's leave. I don't wanna try and take on to see. They thought it had efficacy. Exactly. That's one of the, it's ambiguous.
Right.
If it's ambiguous, one of the possibilities of that ambiguity is this. They were under distress. They said, we better get out of here.
Which
Better
actually,
get out of here for what? Well, they killed his son. Maybe who knows what happens.
They still believe, they did believe it. You see it going on for the next hundreds of years.
I didn't say no. I didn't say no. I'm saying it because I think it's plausible. That's what she was very plausible.
It's not like they said, oh, it's an abomination. They didn't know that.
And perhaps the reason it's left ambiguous is it doesn't want to tell you explicitly, Israel got spooked with child sacrifice. Here in 2 Kings, Elisha is the prophet who's coming onto the scene now. What? So it doesn't say it explicitly, it leaves it sort of floating in the air. You gotta figure it out yourself. Me personally, that's how I think about it. I think about it that they were spooked.
They don't want credence to it. That's why it's ambiguous.
Exactly. So now, perhaps originally viewed as a heroic or courageous act, right? Heroic. The author of Judges, as well as the rabbis, critique Yiftach's ignorance to the matter and presents the end result as tragic and mournful. We argue that the narrative's utilization of specific phrases mentioned above are meant to draw the reader back to Numbers 30 and inform on its adjacency with the sacrificial program.
Oh, that's so.
For instance, aside from the obvious connection by virtue of it being a story about a vow, his daughter tells him, Aseh kasher yasa mipicha, a locution that is highly uncommon in Tanakh. Outside of its appearance in Numbers 30, we have pointed out earlier, and other vow legislation in Deuteronomy 23, the only other occurrence found in Numbers 32, which we'll return to, and Yirmiyah 44. The Yirmiyah 44 one is the most amazing one. For the present discussion, the latter is of particular importance as it also in a sacrificial context. 44. If you have Tanakhs, open up to Yirmiyah 44. The remnant of Judah in Egypt post-destruction exclaims the following. So open up to Yirmiyah 44. And I always find this fascinating.
That's true.
I'll show it to you now. Give me a minute. Yirmiyah. Now you have to remember that these people, right? These people. 1 minute. Here it is. Okay.
Oh.
One second.
It's just.
One second. Yeah, okay. Before we read it, let me just tell you, you have to remember that he's in Egypt now. This is after Korah, excuse me. Yohanan ben Kareah, the ultimate rebellion takes place.
Right.
Then Galut would never have come about. They would be in Israel now. The whole thing would have ended right there, and everything would have been perfect. And of course, that happens on Rosh Hashanah until Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur, he comes the 10th day of Tishrei. 10 days later, he tells them he already knows that they're sketching, and Korah, Yohanan ben Kareah, says, we're going to Egypt, not listening to anything. You have your sketch, and after they told him anything you say is perfect, etc. Now he's there. At that juncture, Yirmiyah says, "Hineni Sam Panai Bechem L'Ra'ah, ולהחליט את כל יהודה, ולקחתי את שליט יהודה אשר שמו פניהם לעבור מארץ מצרים." They came to Egypt, לגור שם, ותמו כל בארץ מצרים, יפול בחרב ברעב, תמו מקטון ועגלות בחרב ברעב, ימותו, והיו לעלה לשמם וגלל חרפה. You guys who went to Egypt, you're finished. You're all going to die. Men, women, children, you're out. Ufakati ala yoshvim be'eretz Mitzrayim kasher fakati al yoshvim, just like what I visited upon on Yerushalayim is going to happen here. No refuge will be found there. Now watch this. And they answered Yirmiyahu, Kol ha'anashim, all the men. I'm in verse 15 now, 44:15. Hayudim ki meketerot neshehem le'elohim acharim, that their wives are offering incense to other foreign gods. Kol ha'anashim, all the women who were standing kahal gadol. That means he's got maybe 1,000 people here, right? It's not 100. It's not 50 people. It's hundreds and hundreds of people. It could be 1,000 people. It could be 1,000 people, right? Of kol ha'am yoshvim be'eretz Mitzrayim bePetros, they're in Petros. Hadavar asher dibarta elenu, these words that you spoke to us, b'shem Adonai, eneno shomim elecha, we're not going to listen to you. Ki asor na'aseh et kol hadavar asher yasa mipinu. We're going to do all the things that came out of our mouth. Asher yatsa mipinu. Sound familiar, Stephen? Those words? Lekater lemlechet hashamayim, to offer incense to lemlechet hasech lanisim, to do libations. Kasher asinu anachnu, like we did. Ve'abotenu, melkenu, sarenu, bari Yehuda, Chabosot Yerushalayim. Us, our fathers, the people, everybody, the leadership, everybody did it. V'neyeh tobim, and then things would be tob for us. V'ra'ah lo ra'inu, and we didn't see bad. Umin as hadalnu lakater l'melechet hashamayim v'asech la'nesachim. From the time we stopped, hasarnu kol, we are lacking everything. U'b'chero b'rav tamnu. And when we offer to the Queen of Heaven, didn't our wives make the sambusak?
This is
Because we listened to you that we have bad things. If we would have offered her everything that we said, so people believed.
Ultimate reality.
Yeah. It's incredible. This is one of the most incredible statements.
It speaks to today because you hear like similar statements and people say terrible things happen because we stopped the superstition. It's a minhag. My grandparents did it. That's what they're saying.
That's exactly what they're saying.
did it. They did it. It's
Right.
because we stopped.
It's because we stopped. That's why bad things are happening to us. What were the things that you could say in the modern time as an example? Anybody have an example?
Stop checking our mezuzot.
Yeah. If we would have checked our mezuzot,
Right.
everything would have been
No, my
okay.
parents checked their
You
mezuzot.
told me that was silly and that was wrong and that was absurd and so on and so forth. But if I would have done that, if you would have let me check my tefillin, constantly, and I would have known, I very right, and
So it's interesting that Yirmiyah in verse 25 is
Yeah.
gonna say, "Kom Adonai Zevot el Yisrael lemor, atem unshechem v'tedaberna befichem uvidechem mleitem lemor, asor nase et nedarenu
Right.
et nadarnu."
right,
Right?
right,
He's talking specifically
That's their
to,
name.
right,
no, the women,
right,
right?
Oh, the women, I see.
The women.
right. That's in verse, אתם ונשכם ותדברנה בפיכם בידכם ולאתם לאמור אסור נעשה את נדרינו. We're gonna do our נדרים, אשר נדרנו, that we vowed, לקטר המלאכת השמיים ולהסך לנצחים, הקם תקימנה את נדריכם, ואסור תעשנה את נדריכם. לכן שמעו דבר אדוני כל יהודה אשר ירושלים, נשבעתי בשמי הגדול אמר אדוני, אם יהיה עוד שמי נקרא בפי כל איש יהודה, etc., etc.
Omer,
Go ahead, read it, read it.
שוקד עליהם לרעה ולא לטובה, ותמו כל איש יהודה אשר בארץ ישראל מחנו בנאיו עד כלותם. God is saying, don't make a neder in my name anymore.
Right, because now God makes, like, it's like God makes the neder, right?
Yeah, וידעו כל שארית.
Hineni nishbati.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a shivua.
Right.
You're gonna fulfill your name. I'm gonna make a shivua. And this is God talking.
Yeah, but you know what?
And you're done for.
They may have
Look at
said,
this.
they may have originally vowed it in God's name
Sure,
to do the Avodah Zarah.
sure,
Well,
sure.
the other God's name.
Because
Right.
God is saying, stop
read
making
the whole
Nedarim in my name.
Yeah, read it, Morris.
What are you up to?
ועשו תעשינה את נדריכם לכם.
כל דבר אדוני כל יהודה יושבים בארץ מצרים, הנני נשבעתי בשמי הגדול, אמר אדוני, אם יהיה עוד שמי נקרא, בפי כל איש יהודה,
אומר,
היי אדוני אלוהים,
בכל
בכל ארץ מצרים. הנני שוקד עליהם ברעה, ולא לטובה, ותמו כל איש יהודה אשר בארץ מצרים יחרב ברעב, עד כלותם. That's what you just read.
Right.
ופליטי חרב ישובון מן הארץ מצרים.
The one who escaped from
Yeah.
that.
ארץ יהודה מתי מספר, וידעו כל שארית יהודה הבאים לארץ מצרים לגור שם, דבר מי יקום ממני ומהם.
Let's see
Let's
whose
see
words are gonna be
Right.
without. You or me. You know who's saying that? God.
Yeah.
Let's see if you're gonna be right or I'm gonna be right.
וזאת לכם האות נאום אדוני, כי
And this is
פוקד
the sign.
לכם במקום הזה, למען תדעו, כי קום יקומו דבריי עליכם לרעה.
You know,
funny
you know how you're gonna know I'm right?
after
You're
I'm
gonna
right.
die.
No, after I'm right. It
Right.
ties into
After I'm right.
like
When everybody's dead, you'll know I meant I won out.
This whole piece is about Nedarim,
That's right.
and it's
What about
about,
Egypt part, and then we go back to Israel, the next chapter. We go back in time.
You're asking about Yirmiyah?
Yeah, I'm just.
Okay, well, how these chapters work is different, what he's doing. That's okay. So you see that Yirmiyah, you see how people are attached to superstition and to
Yeah.
Things that you do that manipulate God. That's what the word is. You manipulate God now. I'm going to do whatever I said. And when I do that, they believe that by doing what they said, no matter what, then things work out because it's a type of manipulation of God.
Well, there's another power.
If I fix the mezuzah, then God will do will save. If you don't fix it, it's because the letters were out. So by you can manipulate God. You could actually change a letter, right, to the right letter, and now everything is going to be good.
But
Right.
it might also be a superstition about Nedarim. Meaning the same way Yiftach has to sacrifice his daughter. And now I have to do it because it came out of. They're saying, we said it. We didn't do the thing. So destruction came because we didn't do the bit.
If we would have done it, we'd have been like, yeah, we would have won.
It's specifically a Neder superstition.
100%.
Same like Yiftach
100%.
convinced he has to do the wrong thing.
No,
Right.
no,
It's not that they had to sacrifice, it's that they said they were gonna sacrifice. That's
No,
what
but you're
the,
speaking about that, they're doing it how does that. You can't say that, you're saying that they're good in their commitment to the Nedarim, but it's.
No,
No, then Avi is saying it's absurd, but that's what's going on in their
That's what
minds.
you're saying, you're saying that because they said they have to,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's not, no, it's not a swear that they're bound by because that's what the law was from God. It's because to that God, not to God itself.
no, the fact that it's
No.
law is the problem.
no,
Yeah, but
we
that's
made
what I'm
it there.
That's what I'm saying, it's interesting.
Not
that
even
he
that,
says,
it's more.
nobody's gonna swear in God's name anymore. It sounded like they were swearing B'Shem Hashem.
I see, I don't know, okay.
Why else would he have to say that?
Right. Look, it's clearly all people living in
Yeah.
deep levels of superstition and manipulation, even, of course, with child sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
Everything is manipulating God.
But the big
Everything is,
superstition is the fact that when I say something, I better act
No,
on
it's
it.
not-
That's the big.
that's the thing of whatever I say, I gotta keep my word. If I don't, I'm in trouble.
And what Dr. Morris is saying is that in one of them, the women made the neder. Iftach, the woman is the subject of the neder.
That's correct. Of course, as they're saying, because she's
The
in
wife.
Nara,
It's the wife.
she's in Nara. It says she never
The
knew.
whole loving bond is all talking about the wives that did.
Exactly.
Well, that's what the point,
One
that's
is the
why we're
wife,
bringing this up
one is the
tonight.
daughter.
We're getting.
It says, it goes out of its way to say that she's a virgin. Yani, she's a young girl, right?
Right.
Right? She didn't know a man yet. She was a Nara. We call her,
She's in her father's home, like.
she's still living in her father's home. She's still a young girl. So we're talking about a Nara, a girl, a female, bin ureha, bet abiha. It's coming out of her father's she's in her father's house, right?
Yeah.
Additionally, recall that Numbers 30 concludes by stating the laws between the last words, between a father and his daughter in her youth, in her father's house.
Yes.
Those words,
אלה החוקים אשר סבר את משה בין איש לאשתו,
בין אב לביתו.
בין אוריה בית אביה.
Exactly. That's the last words of the law, right?
Which is
Right.
interesting, but it's so interesting that it concludes that way, because that was only the first section of the laws. Meaning, we read it already on Monday, Thursday. It goes the father and the daughter, then the wife, and neder amanah ugrusha.
Right.
But in the conclusion, the last words are the first.
The first thing,
Yeah.
you see clearly that it should have said the opposite order. It should have, right? Because that's how it gave it. It gave it the younger girl, the married woman, the divorced female, and so on and so forth. Now it says, ben ish lishto first, ben ab levito, ben ureha bet abiha. It's going out and say, ben ureha bet abiha. Now you can't help but think that this thing and the Yiftach story are cross-referencing each other. It's
Yeah.
there in your face.
You said before nafsha, now you're saying that.
Life, right?
Your own life.
Your own life, right?
He,
Right.
right.
Well, he
Swears on his daughter's life.
on his daughter's life, right?
You say there's a similar literary technique in Vaikra, U'ish asher yishkav im teme'ah.
Yeah.
A weird.
The weirdest words, the way it ends, and a man who sleeps sort of tear huh?
Right.
Right, that's in chapter,
The end of 15.
right before Yom Kippur, at the very end of the Zab laws, right?
Yeah, right.
All of a sudden it says this, and then, and a man who sleeps with a te'emah, huh? It came out of nowhere, and of course, we say that that's referring to, it's going
Right.
out of its way to end like that, to tell you, that's what we're talking about, that's Eli, Hophni and Pinchas were fooling around with the woman, right? That's a te'emah, right?
So you wonder if it's like a literary technique.
It's a technique.
Interesting conclusions.
It's very correct, very correct. Let me just finish reading this. For now, suffice to say that vow legislation may perhaps be addressing pre-existing primitive rituals and practices, which included vowing to the gods with human or child sacrifice, and that its placement adjacent to the 7 base sacrificial programs, which we're going to do for a few minutes before the class ends, and its connection to the Judges 11 narrative aligned well with Torah's overall outlook and attitude towards improper sacrificial rites. It points to the Torah's overall objective of reforming these notions of the legitimacy and efficacy of sacrifices in the new covenantal awareness and understanding. So pass these out to point out the bottom part of this you guys know, but the top part of this you don't know. Who doesn't have? All right, one, and here's one, and that's the following.
Oh,
The war with Midian, right? All these are in close proximity one to the other. Remember that, right? You see that there was a if you could all look at me for a minute without the paper, you remember what goes on? It gets split. You give 1 out of 500, 1 out of 50 has to be given by the fighters, 1 out of by the nation, 1 out of 500 has to be given out to fighters because they're the fighters, so they give less. So I just wanted you to be aware of that. And this is how you handle the booty. The animals and humans, sheep, there was 675,000. Are you with me, everybody?
yeah.
The tribe, 56,250. The cattle, 72,000, 6,000. Donkeys, 61,000, 5,000, and so on and so forth. The humans, 32,000. You have 840,000. Now, the tribe, you see the number 70,000,
Yep.
right? 7 times 12 is 84. So it's 70,000. The combatants give how much?
35.
And the non-combatants?
35.
The combatants want a 500,
70.
70. The non-combatants 1 out of 50 give
700.
700. The total
770.
770.
Well,
The numbers
Yeah.
are very, very clear, right? That you end up with 770. How does it now turn away, right? Those numbers include humans. Do you understand? Sheep, cattle, look where it says animal and humans on the left. Sheep, cattle, donkeys, humans. Everybody see that?
yes.
That is the total amount of everything that takes place in the war with Midian. Everything. But now, only, which is what we always talk about. You don't put human beings with animals. You put human beings and animals.
No.
It's not normal. So sheep, cattle, donkeys, total how much, Stephen?
Sheep, cows, and donkeys.
808. 808,000.
808,000. It's in red, very big for you, right? You see all the numbers over here. 67, 67.33, et cetera, et cetera. The contribution on a national scale is how much? 8,888. The humans come to 352, which is
4 times 88.
88, 88, 88, and 88. That's 352, right?
Mhm.
Now, take a look at the animals by themselves again. Oh, I repeated this over here, right? It's just a repeat.
You put the humans at the bottom just so you can break.
Yeah, I think you put one of them is the,
I made one change. Oh, here it is. Yeah. You see, it says 808,000, but I didn't show that the total is of the non
7.33 times 12.
is 808,
Right.
and the other one is 8,000.
It's total.
It's 8, right? This one is this 8,080, which then comes to 8888. I did that for that reason, right? So you see over here, what is the Torah doing? Torah is telling you human beings, that's the old order. Everything with sacrifices is always in the old order. the new order says, no, you don't put the two together, right?
Raham goes to war, it's like give me the nefesh and.
That's right. Right? Give me the nevish, he tells him,
Yeah.
take a walk, right?
Mhm.
So I just wanna, it's very late. I just want to remind you of this because you know this. If I have it here, I don't know. Let me see if I have it. No, not in here. I just want you to look at it. You've seen it before. I put it in volume 1, in fact. Yeah. Just look, we're only 6 people and it'll take 3 seconds to show it to you, to remind you. Here's another one, and another one. When everybody has one, stop me. Stop, okay. So you remember, if you remember here, this is the analysis of what we just now finished reading this. This is in Pinhas, the sacrificial program. So when you have the sacrificial program, for example, if you look at the Pesach total, 14, 7, 49, 70, you end up with a total on special day sacrifice count of 77. It's in color for you. You go down to the grand total for Sukkot. It's 70, 14. You remember Sukkot, by the way, is 13, starts with 13. That's the purple and ends, and it decreases by 1 every day. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, which happens to just about equal what, guys? 70, right? Pretty amazing, right? It starts with 13. All it had to do was start with 13. 13 ends with 7, you end up with 70. Then 14, 98, 182. Everybody always knows that number 182, which is 7 times 26. Where's the classic place we have 182? The abbreviated genealogy. Where else? The difference between the two census counts. 603,550. The one we just now finished doing is 601, 730. The difference between the two is 1,820, right? How many times does Hashem's name occur in the Torah?
1820.
1,820 times. That's the 70 times 26, correct? So you have 189, which is 7 times 27. And then look at the bottom one on the line that says special day sacrificial count. What does it say, Morris?
700.
Special day sacrificial count.
700.
No,
Yeah.
no, let him find it himself. It's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the 10th column,
This was 700, the one.
all the way at the bottom.
Yeah, 700.
No, you're looking at the wrong
Center column.
center column.
That's special day. Oh, I got 539.
539, which is
7 times 77.
7 times 77, right? So that's just to remind you that everything in the Torah that's related to sacrifice is in sevens. When you have it over here in Pinhas, when it's animals, it's sevens. The other thing that takes it into the covenant, right?
8.
Right, exactly. So clearly, the symbolic structure is always telling you that's the old order. That's not what the Torah wants. The new order is to move away from sacrifices, the way the 50th Mizmor talks, and the way so many of the Nevi'im talks, and the way Yirmiyah talks. That said, when we come to Yiftach and we come to his story, that's moving you away from the horrible way that people looked at things. And what does it do? At the same time as that it liberates women, what does it do? It says all of that could only happen in the day that he says it, right? It only lasts for.
Yeah.
You take it down to 24 hours. So you cut, how many cases did you cut out when you say, right? On the day that he hears it, right? And so on and so forth. So
He said the day
that he hears it.
saying it.
Yeah, yeah, well, of course, she's saying it, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So it limits everything. It's limiting. Everything is always the trajectory. It's taking you away from it. whether it's the symbolic numbers, which is the actual story itself. And just to close off, because it's time, how do you now look at all superstition? All superstition is avodah zarah. I know I overstated, but that's what it is in effect. What did they tell him? What did they tell the man in Egypt? These people.
It's fine.
If it would have, if we would have jumped up and down 3 times and spit 12 wooden nickels, everything would be okay today.
Put the key in the bread.
If we exactly. Why are the women putting the key in the bread? Yes, they dress it up with saying it's this and it's that and it's all kinds of things. But the bottom line is, now I want to spend a very short amount of time on this, but I want to say it. It's the most important part of this session. When you don't resort to what the women who speak to the meow say, or to the way Israel reacts, they won the war. The next day they're inside, right? Because he does it in the last second. He's done. What's his name? Misha, right? When does he do the sacrifice? Right when, if he doesn't do it, 1 minute later, they're done. They leave. Without people thinking that way, or Yiftah, right? Or any of the other stories where people make a commitment to do something, what are you left with if you don't believe in that?
Your own accountability,
Huh?
your own actions, and your own accountability.
And where are you with that?
What?
Where are you with that? You're in a world of complete reliance on God, and you're very, very,
Your
very.
actions, personal actions in relation to God. Without,
Yes, of course your reactions, but what are you left with to hold on to?
God.
but yes, okay, but
What, you're not answering me.
yes, God, but
No, what are you left with when if you don't resort?
your own accountability. What you do is it.
Belief in.
I understand that, but what are you as a state of mind left with? Forget your own account. What is your state of mind when you're, Morris, explain. What is the state of mind what state of mind are you left with when you have no superstition, anything? What is the person's state of mind? What is he left with?
Belief in God.
Yeah, God.
Belief in
Is that what
God.
you mean? No,
No, it's
you're left with nothing,
accountability.
nothing to hold on to. There's nothing to satisfy your fears. There's no way to, your insecurity, your fears, your insecurities, it's all fear and insecurity, correct? Why are they resorting to it? Life is full of all of that, all the time. So what are you left with when you dump all of that? Fear,
Right.
worry, consternation,
Okay.
right?
Any way of controlling the outside factors or bringing in some kind of.
Once you don't have any way to control it, well, you're floating in the wind. Unless what?
You believe in God.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very, very hard. You tell the guy the army's coming 16 feet away and you're done for.
You blow up the beepers.
You what?
You blow up the beepers. You believe in God.
Okay, I understand that. What does Eliyahu have to say about that?
He doesn't like that.
No, I didn't say.
1 second. Eliyahu Navi doesn't say blow up the beepers. What does he say?
He says God should get involved.
You should have done it. What's going on over here? I don't like this thing. Because,
That's what I meant.
huh?
That's what I meant.
What did you mean?
That it is God's hand. Blowing up the beepers was God's ability, God giving the people the ability to do the right thing. And
Is that what Eliyahu wants?
yes.
No, he wants God's.
Answer him. Stop looking in there. There's only 1 minute left in the class.
Yeah. Eliyahu wants God's direct, supernatural, miraculous intervention.
Right.
Oh, and then he's right. Okay.
God's direct supernatural intervention.
Let the fire come down from heaven
Yes,
and
yes,
consume them.
Right. Which never happened in history,
Yes.
right?
That's-
No miracle ever happened like that. None of them. All of them
All winter.
with the beepers. That's miraculous.
Those
This
are evil
last-
guys. Take them out.
Right. Take them out,
What are you waiting for?
right? So that's why when God tells him, what are you doing here? What does he tell him?
Yeah, I told you to leave. What do you say?
I did the thing, I did everything I could do. So God tells him, I'm not in the fire.
Right.
What did we say that means?
Wasn't me.
Huh?
Chill.
You made the fire. I didn't make the fire. You deceived the people, right? He says, I'm the only guy left in the world and everybody's becoming a behemoth. What should I do? I was gonna lose them if I didn't do it. No. No, deception doesn't work. The ends don't justify the means. What did Jacob say? What did his mother tell him to do?
Yep.
What'd she tell him?
You see,
Trick your phone.
Get involved, because if you don't, we're up the creek without a paddle. No, you can't do that. You gotta rely on God. And God will make it happen. I only wanted to say that that's, you know why there are a lot of Avodah Zarah? You know why a lot of Christians walk around saying
it's easier.
God had a kid and he's a miracle maker, a Jewish guy? They actually believe that happens, some people in the world. Right? Why?
Because he's gonna take care of all your sins.
Yeah,
It's easier.
right, because it's much easier. So how many people really function in the world of not relying on superstition and black magic? How many people?
Eight.
How many people? Seriously, how many people?
Guys in the basement.
None. We all have some level. We are trying to wean ourselves off of it. The more intellectual, more intelligent, but everybody has some level somewhere.
Right, that's the most important thing to talk about tonight. Are you really, you yourself, really free of that?
Absolutely not.
It's very, very hard,
Absolutely.
very, very hard to turn around and say that you don't have any control whatsoever and you rely on God. Look, if you don't do that, you don't end up with Israel being what it is, right? Look at them, it's a miracle. You could never do that. No human being manipulating anything could ever do that, right? The God-fearing people are the only people who can have that come out as a result, right? When you Yireh Elohim, right? But non-God-fearing people can never deal with this. So what do they end up? What do you end up with in the world? I just want to say this to you quickly. What is an extreme left-winger?
No, God, me.
An extreme left-wing lunatic says, "Oh, Washington, he had slaves. He's a lowlife." Yeah, I know that. You know what a left-winger, how he fixes everything in the world? Oh, that guy was a bad guy. Moses had slaves. He's a bad. But Abraham, they're all bad guys. Take the statues, tear them down. Get everybody. Are they really, really honest people?
No.
Would they kill you if push came to shove?
Yeah, 100%.
100%. 100%. That's their control, right? The right-wing guy, what does he do? The other guy on the other side, what does he do?
Gives a ball control.
Praise a lot. Yeah.
No, the right-winger all the way on the right. He don't give control of nothing. How many of them are soldiers?
Somebody else.
How many of them are soldiers?
6. 4.
80,000 of them are not soldiers. Why?
Because the Rabbi said so.
Because they
It's all about them, and it's all about their control, and it's all about them thing.
fool themselves by learning and learning and learning.
Learning Torah, you sketch 42.
Yeah.
Right? So the extreme guys take care of the problem. We're not going to let you get away with this. We're not going to let you get away with this. They both have their extreme fanatical approach to resolving their life problems. You
Their
understand?
personal life, not the bigger picture problem.
Never the big,
Personal level.
Yeah.
Only a personal level.
Right. So now it's all selfish, all without a real trust in God, without real belief in God, and without any of it. It's fake trust in God. It's fake, what do you call it? Idealism. The guy on the left. It's fake. His idealism, not really. The guy was ready to be mayor. He'd let Israel all die, let them all die, and let the Muslims. That's he doesn't care about anything. And when he says, he answers the stupid questions that they ask him, it's so stupid. He lies when he answers. How am I lying, right? Because there's no honesty, there's no truth in their approaches. Same thing goes for the guys on the right. The guys who walk the middle path are the normal people who deal with the problem and who fight with the problem and who internalize the Torah's message and deal with it to the best of their ability.
Mhm.
Something like that. And that's, I think, what the Torah's coming to this culmination. It's culminating on all of this. We don't have anything to do with sacrifices. We don't have anything to do with people who make
Crazy sweat.
vows, and all of this is all shtuyot and then people who believe in Balaam, what do you call it? People who believe in the seers and the guys who are holy guys, just like the Jewish guys who go to the holy guys and think things are going to get better when they go to them and they get a blessing. Oh, he gave me a blessing. Things are going to be better. Guys give them big money, big money, millions, right? Because then my business, because they all know, everybody knows business could go one way or the other
Talmidre,
in a minute. Huh?
the guy that's good. Talmidre,
Right.
Yeah.
the guy buys it because he thinks that's what's gonna help him.
That one, it's fine, right.
So I think that's what the Torah is really doing, and it's really fighting up against the
You
whole
gotta pay for
the whole society, everything that goes on in society, everywhere, all the time, every place, all the religions, everything. It's all primitive. It's all backwards. It's all off the point. Do you agree?
100%.
Yeah, that's what I think. It's really what it is. And I think that the reason the Torah has the story with Eliyahu is to tell you the prophet at the beginning of the story.
Yeah.
And that's why right? They were fighting. How deeply rooted is this problem?
Eternal for always, yeah.
That's right. You remember me speaking about that this year?
Yeah.
I said, you remember how deeply rooted in the womb. That means it's in the DNA. You can't escape the problem. The one side wants one side's long term, one side's short term. How can we do it? How can we deal with it? And how can we cope with it? All of this ties in with that. So I want a paper that shows how all of this ties together.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of it ties together.
Volume 3.
The superstition is one of those avenues, right? The Nedarim, all of it, the mezuzah is all part of it. The holy God, it's all part of the picture of getting away from total reliance on God and having no ego and looking towards the future.
Yep.
Who does the Torah always show as the guy that's the most important? Moshe's Anav Mikol Adam, and his entire life is devoted to the future beyond himself, beyond his own lifetime.
I didn't take one thing.
What?
He says, I didn't take one thing.
That's right. Just like Shemuel says, I never took one thing from you ever. By the way, who's our mentor who says that? The Rab. Never took a dollar.
That's right.
He said never took a dollar from anybody for anything.
Right.
Not a brit milah, not a wedding, not a thing, not anything. Never, ever once. Because
You're done.
you're done. Yeah. All right.
But Ham also said when for King of Sodom,
That's correct.
in two ways.
That's right. That's right. I think
Thank you,
everybody's not here. Is
Thank you,
anybody
Robert.
left there? All right.
Yeah,
Have a
thank
good
you.
one.
Have a good one.
All right. Who is that? Wait, who's speaking? AB?
AB.
Oh, okay. I thought so. AB, you enjoyed it?
Great.
Okay, thanks.
Always
Okay.
great. Thank you.
Okay, right on. Good.